Ano Ivelina Mekialoha, and welcome to Kumu Fat's Views. Today's video is another hula impression. As you can see, halau na Mamo Puʻuanahulu from Oahu, na Kumu Hula Sonny, Ching, and Lopaka Igarta. Their Kane Kahiko presentation was in honor of Liliʻuokalani and the train known as Lanakila. So let's go ahead and right into it.
From Kapahulu, Oahu, Nakumuhula, William Kahakulele Huahau Nu'u Sonny Ching and Lopaka Igarta DeVera. We welcome Halau Mamo o Puʻuanahulu.
Okay, so they did an amazing job doing an Oli in honor of Liliʻuokalani coming onto the stage. I mean, they had to project their vocals from off the stage because there's no mics off the stage. Excuse me. And so the only they did was in honor of Lili'u, um, her name and who she is and what she is. Then they did the traditional ho'opuka e kalama kahiki onto the stage. They're using the uli as their twist implement, and of course those beautiful pa'ula'i as part of their lole. Um, some of you asked, uh, how come they're in different color tops? I kind of answer that question again. It is up to the discretion of the Kumuhula and what they put in their fact sheets. It could just be a fashion thing. It could be they're resembling people, different people sitting on the Kaʻaahi or the train. So the mele, you're gonna notice a lot in that second verse we just saw. They did this up and down motion and they did the looking side to side motion. They're talking about the Lanakila train, and that's what you're gonna see a lot of train motions. You're gonna see a part. They talk about how she gets off the carriage and off the train and gets onto a horse carriage. I will talk about that all at the end, but let's continue. I'm gonna pick it back a little bit. This is really the ending, but I want okay. Okay. I had to go back a little because I thought I missed the verse. So, like I said in another video, right, the Kumu have the discretion of taking longer chance and taking and omitting verses that they don't think flows into the melee in their interpretation, in their imagery. And I didn't see um, one of the verses in there that talks about, I talked about getting off the train and onto the horse carriage. Um, because it probably didn't fit into their mele as a whole that they wanted to present, because it does create an off verse, like an odd verse. What they're doing is in one of the contexts, not I shouldn't say original, because in the original it's probably one full context. In one of the contexts, it breaks the verses two lines like this, and then there's one odd verse. Because then what I did was I took the two verses and combined, so it's four lines, four lines, four lines, and then two lines. I do the heaku mako, just repeat those two lines, and then we're done. So again, they omitted a verse so that they could combine those four lines, four lines, four lines to make it one full melody without that odd count um, poku verse. But great imagery and representation of Lanakila ke Kaʻaahi Aliʻi. Some halau do this uli uli, some do it with olapa, just regular hula. I do it with an ipu, ipu vai or ipu heke ole. I've seen it done with the ipu heke ole by other halau as well. And I believe one halau I seen, I can't remember which halau it was, but they did the ili ili, because then they explained that the sound of the track, that's the sound that the ili ili makes. So excuse me. But yeah, this is chat number two, or chat number one of a three-part series. Chat number one, getting confused. Chat number one of a three-part series of mele for the Lanakila. The second one is Eya Maya o Makalapua, and each time that they added on to this series, they went further and further. So this one takes you only up to and up to Lelehua, which you didn't get to hear because that was the verse that was omitted, right? They start in Honolulu, they work their way towards Halava, Moanalua, and they kind of go upwards towards Lelehua. Before Lelehua, Manana area, and then that verse that was taken out actually takes her by horseback to Lelehua. Eyamayo Makalapua takes you from that point, Manana, where she gets off, and then works their way back down towards Waipio, towards Waikele, towards Eva and Honouliuli. And then it stops there. And the last one, Kuʻeahau o Kalanakila, takes you towards the last part of that train track, towards Waianae, where the train ended, and we turned back. So it was done in parts as each section of the railroad was completed. Yeah, because it starts at Honolulu area. They use a traditional name. They work their way towards Halava, yeah, Moanalua, Man. Then they go up towards Manana, yeah. They don't mention Lelehua because the train doesn't go to Lelehua. She went by horseback or horse carriage to Lelehua. So from this Manana, they came down. They went to Waipio, where in Oahu now, yeah. Then they went through Waikele. Then they went to Honouliuli, Kapole, Nanakuli, Waianae. That's the trail of the Lanakila. And so this is mele number one of three that we know of. Yeah. So the imagery of the train track, the kuno, how the people took off their papale and took a bow towards the queen as she arrived or as she's going by these places, and how people shout out her name, He Akumako Eo Mai Oe. We call out your name, Liliu Okalani. Okay, so a great representation, a great imagery. Their paula'i was the movement of the paula'i. I love watching that tea leaf skirt. For those of you that's not pa'a with the terms, I love how it moves on the stage. The pace is, you know, for as long as I've watched Halau na Mamo Puʻuanahulu, they always had this high pace, high energy mele that they do, and so they presented their version at a great pace. Of course, how the train moves, the train just moves from when they olied to when they did their kaʻaahi, to they did their hoʻi, at the pace of a train, right? A quick pace. Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's move. Okay. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope that you guys learned something from this. Please take care. Stay safe. Stay healthy. Meka paulele palena ole. Aloha.